Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the numerology and the energies for both the collective and the individual life path numbers for June 2022. Before we get into the forecast, I just want to let you know that for those of you who have been asking me to bring back the numerology one question readings, those are now available once again on my website if that's something that interests you. It's an opportunity for if you have a burning question that you just want a quick, concise response to. It's a great, affordable option for that. So you can just book some time with me on my website. The information is in the description box below for that. I look forward to seeing you there. And of course, if you would like a more in-depth reading, those are also available, or a coaching session. Those are available as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the forecast. And of course, I will mention that this is a general reading. So again, if you would like a personalized reading, please book some time with me. All right, so June 2022 is a 12-3 universal cycle. And so typically the energy of the 3 brings with it this big explosive energy of creation, networking, social events, travel, recognition. However, with the strong influencing energy of the 12, we can feel that energy sort of muted slightly, and the focus shifts more towards reevaluation, changing, or sort of reversal of a creative endeavor or life experience. This can be a period of waiting, letting things take care of themselves now through surrender and acceptance without the need for force or control. So under this 12-3 energy, a change in perspective will serve us well, allowing the cycle to work for us rather than trying to overly dominate something. Observe, reflect, meditate, repeat. There is a lot of sort of serenity associated with this energy if we choose not to fight it. You may find that new information or clarity now brings reversals in what we thought we once fully knew. I'm actually facing this myself at the moment, so this is somewhat personal. You may need to make big compromises now on long-term goals or visions in order to fully appreciate and experience what is trying to come in for you right now. With this vibration, success is achieved through acceptance and understanding. The more flexible that we can be with long-term goals and expectations, the more fulfillment we will have within our current right now experience. So try not to fight these forces, but rather flow with them, and the results will be much more satisfying. Try to stay very present within the now and pay attention to sort of your mindset now. Are you self-sabotaging or supporting yourself on this journey? So staying within or coming back to the present moment and doing so often can assist us in seeing very clearly what is actually working and what isn't, what needs your attention right now and what doesn't, and what is a rational fear versus an irrational fear, and what needs to actually be overcome within this moment versus allowing something to unfold further in order to see how it actually plays out. So trips of any kind are very much supported under this energy, especially ones that are solely for enjoyment and exploration or rest and rejuvenation. This is a great time for vacations, both near and far. Ultimately, use this gift, this energy, as an opportunity to see things as they really are and not as they appear to be. Bring the conflicting polarities into some level of perspective now within your mind and create much more harmony within your environment by recognizing the reality of what you are actually currently working with and move from that space. This is a great cycle to pause and observe to gain greater clarity. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a closer, deeper look at each individual life path number for June. Life path number 2, I pulled an animal spirit card for you all for June, and you got hummingbird spirit. And this is such beautiful energy to come through. So the message for hummingbird is be here now. And so I really think that there's just this really strong emphasis for twos this month. Again, to keep bringing it back to the present, to not get caught up in the stories of self-doubt or the anxiety that you're creating for yourself around a situation, around what could happen, but to keep bringing it back to the present, to really take a look at the reality of what is actually happening now. What are you actually responsible for now, in this moment? What steps can you take now that will potentially have an effect on your future and your journey forward, as opposed to sitting and worrying about or thinking about, and creating stories around what could happen. Like, I talked about in the intro about the need to surrender and sort of give up control, not full control, but some control. And I think that it's important to remember, especially for twos this month, that you still have control over your, how you respond to your environment, how you respond to the things that come in for you, and how you allow yourself to create stories that are either true or not true, right? It goes back to, is the fear real, or is it a story that you're conjuring up about a situation? So I think for you all this month, it's going to be really important as things sort of surface or come to the surface, to be moved through, to bring yourself back to the present moment, like hummingbird, and ask yourself, what is actually happening right now? What do I actually have to overcome in this moment right now? Because you can do that, because you have the ability to do that, right? That's real. That's something that you can face, whether you need to call in, people to help you do that, or if it's something that you can do on your own, that's fine. But it's those stories that we tell ourselves, it's the anxiety and the fear of something that could happen that is not real. It's not real because it's not happening yet. And so I think Hummingbird's message for you is just keep coming back to yourself and trusting yourself in this moment, and really take stock of what is actually happening in the present moment. I think that's going to be really, really important. So let that be your mantra this month. Be here now. Just be here now. Come back to the present moment, especially if you start entertaining stories or fears that are about the future that could or could not happen, that may or may not happen, right? And so there's no sense in creating fear or anxiety around something that may not even come to fruition. Okay, so looking at the month ahead for you all, there's very strong energy coming through in June for you all around potential change in direction, the need for, a pivot, right? Like a detour perhaps. This is very similar to like 5 energy, where again, it's like things can be percolating under the surface, things can be transforming under the surface, and then all of a sudden it sprouts up, and now you're meant to deal with it and figure out what to do with it. It's very possible that things like that may surface for you this month, again, around change of direction. These can be abrupt changes. These can be unexpected changes. These can also be expected changes. The more adaptable that you can be this month, the better you will feel. And it comes back to that energy of be here now. I think June for you all is going to be a pretty big big action filled sort of, again, possibility for a lot of change and transformation. And that can feel a little bit disorienting at times, especially for, anybody, but twos as well. And so the more adaptable that you can be this month, the more you can go with the flow, the more that you can, again, just pause, allow things to come to you, be in the present moment, and make adjustments as you need to make them, the more comfortable this month will feel for you, and the more productive and successful you'll feel at the end of the month. So again, there can be a strong need this month for freedom, for not having a lot of restrictions. Maybe this is a great month. Again, as I mentioned in the intro, this is a great month for travel, for exploration, for, again, just breaking free, even if it's just for a weekend or, a couple of days. Find your joy this month. Do the things that make you happy. Find things to celebrate, things that, maybe you you work with every single day, but that maybe you take for granted. This is a great month, again, to come back to the present moment and really acknowledge the things that are going right for you, that really feel good for you. And how can you incorporate more of that into your life? There could be cause for celebration. This could be a month of getting married, or things coming up around marriage, or taking a relationship to another level, having a baby, finding out you're pregnant, something like that, bringing in a new pet, something along those lines. This is definitely a month that can be very much centered around finding your inner child and doing the things that really bring you joy, and finding reasons to celebrate, and then allowing yourself the time and the space to do that. Again, this is a great month for travel, for exploration, for really experiencing life with all of your senses, and just allowing yourself to do that. The one thing I will mention is it's going to be also important, because this can be very big energy that you're experiencing this month. What I would say is be very mindful of doing things in moderation and not falling to extremes. Again, because it can feel like you want to break free, you want to roam, you want to explore, you want to do all these things, and sort of you can kind of overlook some of maybe your responsibilities that need your attention. And so again, it's just all things in moderation. Sometimes when we're working with this kind of bigger, expansive energy that twos have coming in this month as a collective, it can be really easy to, overindulge, or fall in the other extreme where you fall into like deprivation mode, and you're like, I don't deserve this, or I need to be really, strict with myself and not do this type thing. And really the key is going to be about finding your own balance, finding, again, your own center, so that you're not falling into extremes. I think that's going to be really key for you all this month. And following your intuition, really coming back to, again, a healthy balance of those action-oriented energies and the ones of surrender, and allowing the things to come to you for efforts that you've already put forth. But moderation is going to be really key. Trusting yourself and trusting your decisions is going to be key for you all. And adaptability. I do think that there could be some strong changes coming throughout the month for you. So again, just pay attention to that, and just know that if something is surfacing and it's something that's out of your control, then try to flow with it the best to your ability, and be adaptable to that energy. And wherever that energy takes you and sort of lands you, then be in the present moment, take stock of it, and see how you can work with it wherever you end up landing with that energy, right? I think that's going to be really, really important. And the more that you can do that, and the more that you can kind of do things all in moderation, I think it's going to be a really good month for you all. And don't forget to find your joy, and just go back to that inner child, and allow your inner child to express itself without judgment, shame, or fear. It's allow yourself to experience, again, a lot of joy this month that wants to come in for you. Okay, so I hope it's a beautiful month for you all. Thank you all so much for listening to. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.